Hi guys, right, welcome back down to the channel. We're going to jump straight into this one today. Nick has got the Titleist GT series for me, haven't you? We've got it in the three heads at the moment, the GT2, GT3 and GT4. Nick, these look a really good driver head, and to be fair, Titleist have got a lot to beat with that TSR series that they brought out this last time, haven't they? What's the crack with them? What we're looking at with these?
So it's an upgrade on the TSR range. GT is available in three different models. We have a GT2, which is kind of probably the most forgiving in the lineup.
Yep.
Suits almost everybody. GT3, a little bit lower launch, lower spinning, weight further forward.
Yep.
And then a GT4, which historically would be the most difficult to hit.
Yeah. Smallest
profile head. This time you can manoeuvre the weight a little bit and make it a little bit more forgiving.
So that's the one where with the GT4 there's a weight front and back that you can take out. So
Correct.
you can swap lighter and heavy weights either way.
Yeah.
So in essence, for most people, if we're going to do a lightness, and shouldn't really do this, but you could probably say like a Callaway Triple Diamond.
Yeah.
Where they can be that. And as well for me, like my F9, my Cobra F9, front and back, change the weight, can't we?
Yeah, and the previous TSR4 was just weight very forward, so which loses forgiveness.
Brilliant. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit some shots. We're going to let you take a look and see what the data is going to be like on it, and we'll give you some information about the composites and how the driver's been created. Because, in fact, we're going to do that bit now actually, because they've moved away from things slightly differently, haven't they? It's a carbon crown with a titanium chassis, but it's seamless.
Yeah.
The way they've done it is so good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's also traditional. It finishes in a gloss black. I think people like the simplicity of it. It does all fall and roll into one. Still the same loft adapter sleeve. Got 16 different settings. Is a little bit confusing if truth be known, Rob.
I've looked at
you know, you go from, I think it's C1 is the lowest launch, slightly open face, right the way up to A3, which is the most draw biased, adding loft. Yeah. So it can be a little bit confusing. We've got 4 different shaft options, as well as obviously the multitude of exotic shafts. But we've got a Denali red, which is quite soft and light, launches the ball up in the air. Then we've got a Tensai blue, which is middle of the road, which has always been a good shaft for Rob.
Good shaft for me, that, yeah.
Then we've got the new Gen 5 hazardous shaft, which is low launch, low spin. And then they've brought in a new premium exotic at a very good cost. And this is the new graphite design shaft, the one that Tiger's been using.
Ah, right, okay. And interesting as well, what Titleist have done with this one, where everybody's all been going crazy on 10K, haven't they? And 10K seem to have bitten quite a few companies on the backside of it, haven't they? They've not. They've gone down the line and going, well, we created a pretty forgiving driver anyway in what we had in the TSR series. We don't really need to change much with that one. We're going to go more for speed and going for distance with that. So they've not changed much, but they've made the face one of the fastest faces you can get with how they've designed that. So it's interesting how Titleist decided to try and step away from the run-of-the-mill of what everybody else seems to be chasing. And they're going, no, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. And I kind of like that philosophy. Titleist haven't jumped on the bandwagon with a lot of people.
I think with the driver, Rob, everybody wants distance, don't they? You know, yes, we want forgiveness. We don't want to hit it in the trees. But if we can get it as near to the green as possible, it makes your next shots a bit easier. So I think the main focus on this is speed.
Right, let's crack in to get some shots. I've done some baselines already on my Cobra driver, and then we can do a comparable to see how they look. And let's just see how everything goes. Let's take a look at the shots. Oh, the sound.
Yeah, nice.
The sound's lovely.
Yeah, nice that. This is brilliant, Rob. Good shot.
I'll tell you what, mate.
Better than yours already, isn't it?
It pops. That pops.
Well done.
Bit high toey. You know what? Looking at that driver, Nick, it just looks really inviting to hit. Really looks inviting. Just the shelf appeal, I think, is really simplistic and just it does pop in a very simplistic way. But just looking it down from the crown, that looks gorgeous.
Well, I know how good it is because I know how good the TSR range was. But it's great. It just fits so many people.
It does, without a shadow of a doubt. It fits my eye, without a doubt. And the numbers on that, to be 15 yards further in carry that I am doing with my driver currently, just off the first or second hit, is just outstanding. Right, GT3, the driver that shouldn't really suit me. We like that challenge. Right, so look at the GT3. Okay, Nick, so GT3, same shaft again.
Same shaft, same loft, same setting for consistency.
Yeah.
Slightly smaller head, little bit of weight. We can move about a little bit to suit CG. Right. Just set it completely standard for the exercise.
Okay, so that's in neutral. How does this one work? Because I'll do some shots of this anyway. You've got T2, T1 neutral, H1 and H2. Yeah,
well, if we can move this weight around a little bit, normally you'd pull it towards the heel to make it slightly draw biased.
Right.
And vice versa, pull it towards the toe to make it slightly more fade enhanced. Certainly a bit flatter, Rob, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? It does, it says in the tin, it's definitely a Ron seal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very much a Ron seal. I like that. It's one of those flights that would be a good linksy flight, without a doubt. Not that I can afford to buy two heads.
Your West Lancs flight.
Yeah, it's a West Lancs flight. Ladies and gentlemen, if you get a chance to play West Lancashire Golf Club, go and play it. This is the kind of flight you need, without a doubt. Yeah, I thought it'd be a bit blocky.
It's a good shot though.
But still, find a fairway, but he's still out there.
Yeah, numbers were good. Brilliant.
Just feels so good.
Superb. Yeah, great shot to finish that section on, but brilliant.
Yes, all right, I'm probably giving it more spin than it will do because I cast it. It'd be interesting to see when we do the numbers in a bit as to where it was with dynamic loft on that, but that's an interesting head. I didn't think I'd suit that.
Strike right out to the middle, that last shot as well, so yeah, good.
And only 14 and a half launch.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Beautiful.
Right, GT4, the one that is the one I'm most interested in actually hitting is a GT4 because we can play about with the weights. So it'll be interesting to see how that one's going to work. Let's have a look at that now. Right, so we've got GT4 now, mate. So this is the one that really shouldn't suit me.
Smallest head in the family, 430 cc, is deeper, attracts you, better player.
Yeah.
I think the guy that spins it a lot, this could be the animal for him. Can make this slightly more fade biased than some of the others. Same settings, like Rob said. The only difference on this is we've got the heavier weight forward, lighter weight further back. So in theory, this should be a more aggressive flight.
Yep. The feel of the head's still lovely though.
Good. Thought that was a nice shot.
It's not bad at all, is it? All right, low on the spin, so it's done what it says on the tin there.
Yeah.
It really has done what it says on the tin with that one. First kind of toey one. Spin rate drops down dramatically with that then, can't you? You can see that a mile off. Right, so that's the three. We decided to do 5 in the end with these GT4s. So we're going to now flip the weights round so we can keep the comparable even. So we flip the weights around, put the heavy weight in the back, and just try and see if that's going to help me with a bit more stability, even though it's a lighter or a smaller head. Let's have a look at that one. Here we go then, GT4 with the weights at the back. This should help me. It'd be interesting to see what the difference in the spin rate is going to be now.
In theory, should do. Not rocket science. We've switched the weights about. Should create more forgiveness. Should increase the spin a little bit. Just move the CG a little bit further back.
The noise sounds different.
Would I be right in saying it sounded a little bit more tinny? Slappy, tinny? Yeah. Certainly a little bit louder. landed much.
That felt nice.
Much better strike, Rob.
Yeah.
Great shot. Well done.
Interesting. That's going to be an interesting one now to see what the data is going to show with that one, because that was, I felt I hit that the best out of the lot then, the shots I've just hit with this particular head. But that's even lower spin rate, 1400 with the weight at the back. Be interesting to see, and I've hit it just above, I was in the middle, but just above centre.
Yeah.
So that should, all right, that would drop spin down being slightly higher up on the head, but that's more the sweet spot area these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's strange. Right, let's have a look into the numbers and let's see what comes out of the wash with this one. I'm intrigued with this, really intrigued. Right, Nick, so let's have a look now at the stats. So this is my gamer. This is the Cobra F9 in 10.5 loft.
10.5 degrees.
Right, so
this is a club that's been in your bag forever. You can hit it through thick and thin. You never lets you down over the years.
Not so much, no.
No, ball speed 135, Rob. Ball speed divided by club speed gives us your efficiency, or smash factor 1.48. Not flying very far, 214, rolling out to just over 230. Spin slightly on the high side, Rob. Shot dispersion relatively good. Impact location is fraction towards the heel if we're nitpicking.
Right.
That will probably be helping towards the spin and maybe old technology.
So these are going to be the baseline numbers that we're doing driver reviews from now on. These are going to be the baseline numbers that we're going to actually work off, aren't they? To try and see where we're at, because you know technology's changed. So let's have a look then at the GT2, my friend.
Okay. GT2, instantly we see an increase in ball speed. It rockets up to 139. Efficiency goes up with it, and we're swinging it a little bit faster as well. Increasing carry by, my maths is about 11 yards, I think, Rob.
Yeah, because I know we had one that popped out bang on 230.
Yeah. And
that was like, where's that come from? It was an ease to hit.
Yeah. Third shot that you hit with it was really good. We got 230 carry, 141 ball speed, 2.2 spin. We know that's an estimate with regards to rollout, but potentially that would have gone to 260.
That's, you know, for me, that's a big drive for me these days. Yeah.
And heat map, so strike location, a little bit lower on the face, but a little bit more towards the centre. That will have helped towards the lower spin. And new technology, Rob, you know, the GT range, I don't think there's any of them that are too high on spin.
No, there's not. I'm quite impressed so far. So what we got then, GT3. So this is the club that I didn't think would really suit me, but hitting it was a bit of a surprise.
Okay. Rob, GT3, this is the head that me personally, I would probably plumb for. It suits my eye. We fit a lot of good players into this, you included. Strike location, again, which we'll come to, was probably the most central of everything you've hit. Shot dispersion, you can see it's relatively tight.
Yeah.
Everything's veered very, very slightly right of centre. But I think when we show you on the circle, everything's pretty close together. Again, almost identical stats to the GT2. Same ball speed, same efficiency, same carry distance, a fraction more rollout because the GT3 is spinning a little bit less. And again, best shot of the day with that, Rob. We've had another 230, 142 ball speed, perfect smash factor, 231 rolling out to 260.
Interesting one, that one was drawn slightly, whereas the one that hit 230 with the GT2 was a push fade.
Correct.
So maybe the GT2 might still get more out of me if I hit that a little bit better.
Yeah.
So what's the heat map looking like, pal?
Heat map, I think that we can't fault that.
That's great.
It's really good. It's right out the middle of the bat.
Yeah.
So again, you know, if we hit it out, I can't underestimate the importance of hitting it out of the middle. These stats can almost go out of the window if we're not catching the middle. So it's no surprise to me that that's give you good results.
It surprised me that the club head has got me those results based on the parameters it would go, or the way it's built and who it would go towards. For me, that's just out of this world for me. I've not seen central strikes like that for ages for me.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at for then GT4.
Okay.
So this is with the weight in the front. This is the aggressively unforgiving setting.
And there we go. So, okay, dispersion not quite as tight. So
No.
we know that there is less forgiveness on this golf club. When we're comparing it to the GT3 and GT2, we see a little drop in ball speed, drop in efficiency, and it's back down to the average carry of your current driver, with the spin probably the lowest to date. So ball's dropping out of the air a little bit.
What we like heat map wise on this one, pal?
Heat map wise, not bad. Again, I would criticise and say it's a fraction towards the heel.
Yeah.
Very similar to your current driver. Smaller CC, smaller head with this one as well.
And I felt the weight in this one. I did feel the weight. It was really odd. It was only such a small, surface area, but I felt the weight. Like it was predominantly more at the front with this one. It was really weird. But it just felt different.
Yeah.
Which goes then now into the weight at the back with the GT4. So with this one, I did notice a difference in terms of how the weight felt. It felt more of a balanced head with the weight being that. And that could be because I'm used to that being in my F9. And it felt very similar. I don't know.
Well, in theory, this should now be a more forgiving setting.
Yeah.
Like I say, we've switched the weight, so weight further back, should launch a little bit higher, move the CG further back, give a little bit more forgiveness. Shot dispersion is good. Again, favouring the slightly right side of the fairway. Nothing as wide as when we had it set a little bit more aggressive. Slight increase on ball speed between the two GT4s. And a slight increase in carry distance. Again, remarkably, very, very low spin. Low spin probably due to the head and the strike location, which I'm going to show you now, even though we would assume that the other setting would have been a little bit lower spinning. That's your strike location on this, Rob.
Yeah.
Again, really good. I would nitpicking by saying it's a fraction high on the face. It's great. Strike location's good.
But to be fair though, because the weight is at the back on this one, I'd expect the strike location to be higher.
Yeah.
So again, it's Ron sealed. It's done exactly as it says on the tin in terms of what you'd expect the impact to be off the face. Now, granted, I do cast as well, so I'm going to tend to hit high off the face anyway because I'm casting.
Yeah.
But it's still an interesting one that I've still got the low spin. The way I've got it, I would say the GT4 isn't one that we'd investigate further. For me,
no. For me, I think I would. I think it's great that you've hit it. Great that we've compared it. But for me, I'll be concentrating on GT2 and certainly GT3.
Right. So that's one we can have a look at in future videos. We go for building a bag. Right. That's a good one. Right. Let's have a look and do a summary. So summing up in the end of it. Really, really good test, really good play about as to what these drivers can do. I think the GT2 and the GT3 have potential, as we've just said, and probably in the shaft that I've got currently, or that we have been using the Tensai, we can play about some other shafts potentially. But this is a contender for certainly going into my bag. I would definitely say it'd be remiss of you when looking at other new drivers to not check these out.
These are great. I think these are the benchmark. If you lined 100 tour players up, I think the majority of them would probably plumb for one of the Titleist models.
Yeah. If they weren't going to put money on the table for what we could buy you for,
correct.
They'd go with
this one. If it was an open bag, I think you'd get a lot of guys. Not only the traditional looks and the options that we've got to adjust, but I think the ball speed, it's the big winner.
Yeah, it is.
And you can see that when we compare it to yours, Rob.
And dispersion-wise, wasn't as bad as what we thought it could be. All right, I've kept most of those on a fairway.
Yeah.
So dispersion-wise for me was excellent on the grand scheme of things, but we've been able to channel it down to go, right, well, GT2, GT3, they're the tighter ones out of the bag so far. Guys, comment below, tell us what you think. Be interested to know what your thoughts are within these drivers and how you see Nick and me progressing further on. Mate, as always, thank you much for your time. Guys, if you do like this, give us a subscribe, give us a follow. Please follow Nick TourX on Instagram and on Facebook. We really appreciate it. Showing the love. He takes time out of the day to do this for us. I can't thank anything more. Guys, all the best. Speak to you soon.